Is Canelo Alvarez versus Artur Bertebiev the fight Turki El Sheikh wants to make next? Is Bertebiev the money fight Canelo wants after all? How would Bertebiev's aggressive style match with Canelo's punching power and elusive head movement? Today, we're diving into why this matchup is not just possible, but potentially one of the biggest events of the year. Buckle up, because the Knockout Network is about to break it all down. Bertebiev recently won in a controversial decision against Bivol. Many fans and boxing promoters like Eddie Hearn believe that he was gifted the win.
Take the judges' scorecard, but I don't buy it, because you don't deserve that after that performance. It was an absolute boxing masterclass. It was the perfect performance. And you know what? It can be better. But that was just a pure show of concentration and skill and defense with offense thrown in.
Rumor is Turki El Sheikh has already reached out to Canelo and offered him a $200 million fight to fight Bertebiev in Riyadh season. Big payday. So, was Bertebiev's win over Bivol rigged? Did Turki plan this outcome to allow for Canelo to make his Riyadh season debut this year? Bivol showcased excellent defensive skills, using head movement and footwork to evade Bertebiev's powerful shots while countering effectively. He targeted Bertebiev's body, which not only scored points but also helped to slow down his pressure attack. When Bertebiev tried to apply pressure, Bivol remained composed, using angles and quick lateral movement to evade and counterattack. As fans cheered and critics scrutinized, one name loomed large: Canelo Alvarez. This comes at a time when Canelo's name has been linked to many faces, while his management team plans his career trajectory. Is a potential fight with David Benavidez, rematch with Dimitri Bivol, or a Terence Crawford moving up to super middleweight? But little did fans consider Artur Bertebiev, the knockout monster who prior to his controversial victory versus Bivol, knocked out every single opponent he faced, as a potential Canelo candidate. It is no secret that Canelo is looking for high-income fights at this stage in his career. After suffering a defeat at the hands of Bivol on Cinco de Mayo weekend in 2022, Canelo's camp watched this fight closely. It is no secret that the Mexican has said numerous times that he feels more comfortable fighting against fighters that like to fight close up rather than constant lateral movement. After Bivol's impressive victory over Canelo Alvarez, a rematch against him poses a daunting challenge for any opponent. Canelo's camp had publicly expressed a preference for facing aggressive, pressure-fighting style, which meant Bertebiev is a more favorable matchup. In contrast, Bivol's Soviet fighting style relies heavily on a strong jab, lateral movement, and exceptional footwork. This approach has caused significant issues for Canelo in the past, as seen during his bouts with Floyd Mayweather and Erislandy Lara, both of whom utilize similar techniques to frustrate and outmaneuver him. Bivol's ability to control distance and create angles who pose significant challenges for Canelo, making the prospect for a rematch less appealing for him. Bertebiev's style, marked by relentless forward movement and power, presents a stark contrast. This aggressive approach plays into the narrative that a matchup with Canelo would generate more excitement and revenue. Promoters are always keen to set the stage for the most marketable fight, and the allure of Canelo-Bertebiev showdown is undeniable. The clash of styles, Bertebiev's power versus Canelo's technical skill, would make for a thrilling event, appealing to fans and financial backers alike. Moreover, the anticipated showdown between Canelo and David Bertebiev remains to happen, with Canelo strategically suggesting a reluctance to face another fighter with a challenging style. This leaves many people wondering, did Bertebiev's victory over Bivol truly reflect a true victory, or was it a carefully orchestrated outcome designed to pave the way for a more lucrative fight against Canelo? The fight isn't just about who won, it's about what the result means for the future of boxing and the ever-present specter of corruption that threatens to undermine it. In the world of boxing, the clash between sport and business often leads to decisions that can feel more like calculated moves than fair competition. The recent fight between Artur Bertebiev and Dimitri Bivol serves as a striking example of this phenomenon. As anticipation built among fans, few considered the underlying motivation that might shape the outcome. The Riyadh Season Boxing promotion has a vested interest in maximizing their financial return, especially given the current landscape of the sport. Promoters are keenly aware that a fighter's marketability diminishes with age. Bertebiev, at 39 years old, stands at the precipice of retirement. The urgency to capitalize on his remaining fights was palpable. A victory for Bertebiev not only keeps the excitement alive, but also opens doors to lucrative matchups, particularly against high-profile opponents like Canelo Alvarez. Following Canelo's previous defeat to Bivol, promoters could spin a Bertebiev win into an enticing narrative, one that promises an exhilarating rematch that fans would eagerly pay to see. However, the focus on strategic matchmaking raises concerns about whether the fight's outcome was predetermined by financial motivations rather than actual competition. If promoters were leaning towards Bertebiev victory to facilitate a more lucrative matchup against Canelo, it casts a shadow over the fight itself. Fans might find themselves pondering whether the judges' decisions were influenced by the economic interests tied to potential future bouts, rather than the fighter's performance in the ring. This line of reasoning is further complicated by the reality that boxing is as much a business as it is a sport. While skill and determination are critical, the preferences of promoters and their calculations regarding future matchups can often overshadow the athlete's abilities. The allure of a Bertebiev win isn't just about this fight. It's about positioning him as a key player in future high-stakes matchups, particularly against Canelo. But that's not all. The complexities deepen when we explore the personal relationships that may have further impacted this controversial fight's outcome. In the intricate world of boxing, personal relationships can wield a surprising amount of influence, often shaping the dynamics of a fight far beyond the ropes. The recent showdown between Artur Bertebiev and Dmitry Bivol is a prime example, where the outcome may not have been solely on boxing performance. One particularly significant relationship that hasn't been talked about is that between Bertebiev and Turki Al-Sheikh, a prominent figure in the Riyadh Season Boxing promotions. Their friendship runs deep, characterized not only by mutual respect, but also by shared cultural and religious bonds. Al-Sheikh's position within the Riyadh promotion brings a layer of influence that can easily tip the scales in favor of Bertebiev, should the situation arise. The closeness of their relationship casts a long shadow over the fight, suggesting that decisions may have been made with more than just the fighter's abilities in mind. As we consider this relationship, it becomes clear that the implications extend beyond simple favoritism. Al-Sheikh's vested interest in Bertebiev's success could have created an environment where the fight's outcome was predetermined, driven by personal loyalties rather than a fair assessment of performance. The risk of bias in decision-making becomes palpable when we recognize that the sport can sometimes be less about competition and more about who you know. This intertwining of personal and professional realms invites skepticism. Fans are left to wonder, how much did these relationships influence the fight's outcome? Were the judges swayed, knowingly or unknowingly, by the underlying connections that bind Bertebiev and Al-Sheikh? As we delve deeper, it becomes evident that this isn't merely a tale of athletic rivalry, but one that highlights the murky waters of personal influence in boxing. In conclusion, the controversial outcome of the fight between Artur Bertebiev and Dmitry Bivol prompts us to delve deeper into the intricate dynamics of boxing, where financial motivations, personal relationships, and strategic matchmaking can overshadow pure athletic merit. While many fans witnessed a fiercely contested bout, the implications of Bertebiev's victory extend far beyond the ring. Bertebiev's age and promotional push to capitalize on his marketability present a compelling narrative for future matchups, particularly against Canelo Alvarez. Given Canelo's previous struggles with Bivol's style and the rise of fighters like David Benavidez, the prospect of a showdown with Bertebiev becomes increasingly appealing. His aggressive, pressure-fighting style aligns well with the high-stakes excitement that promoters seek. A clash between Canelo and Bertebiev could captivate fans and generate substantial revenue, creating an enticing scenario that overshadows the possibilities of Bivol or Benavidez stepping into the ring with Canelo instead. As we reflect on the implications of this fight, I want to hear from you. What do you think of the outcome? Do you believe it was fair, or do you suspect it was rigged to set up a more lucrative bout with Canelo? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's engage in a meaningful discussion about the future of boxing. Your opinions matter, and I'm eager to see where this conversation leads.